What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a very big master rule update, and this is relating to special summoning monsters from the extra deck that are not considered to be properly summoned. People have been kind of wondering how exactly this is going to work since day one. People have been speculating. Hell, I was even in a call with Yugi No and John Moore, Robbie Cole, Rank 10, Olympia, a whole bunch of people, and we were wondering how exactly this was going to work too. And the reason that people have been wondering and kind of speculating non-stop is Konami has not actually officially addressed this. They have not actually come down and say, look guys, here is your official ruling posted on our Twitter page or something like that that explains how this is going to work. So Japanese players are getting very antsy. There are thousands of Japanese players that are like, what the F, Konami? You guys are giving us these new rules, you guys are giving us the new mechanic in less than a month, and you still haven't actually explained how this is going to work. So basically they've actually reached out to the Konami help desk, and the Konami ruling help desk responded back with some of these rulings and some of these answers. So it's becoming a little more clear how this is going to work, and it's taking the confusion out of it, which honestly they probably should have revealed this information like day one, but I mean, I guess they had a whole bunch of stuff going on. So let me go ahead and explain exactly how this is going to work. And you can believe this because these rulings seem to be completely in line on how Konami is actually ruling like pendulum summoning monsters from the extra deck, and how they're all considered to be extra deck monsters and they're being treated as extra deck monsters. All right, so basically, to simplify it, if you summon a extra deck monster, like if it is a monster that is not considered to be properly summoned from the extra deck, like if you guys have ever actually read Ultimaya, it's not actually considered a synchro summon. It's just considered to be a synchro summon or a synchro monster that is special summoned from the extra deck. The same thing goes with mass change. That's the reason why if your opponent has like non-fusion area, you can still summon Dark Law from mass change, because it's not actually a fusion summon. You're just summoning a fusion monster from the extra deck. So it's a little different. Same thing goes for Bahamut Shark. If you summon you're totally awesome as like it's a super common play in heroes and whatnot, that is not considered to be an XC summon. Well, all of these monsters actually get summoned to the main extra deck zone, and this means that that whole Bahamut Shark totally awesome play, it is no longer possible unless you actually have a link monster that is pointing the link cursors down and is basically opening up your zones. So like if you happen to go, you know, Norden, and then you bring back your, I don't know, Atlantean Dragoons or something like that, and you exceed into Bahamut Shark, you can't actually activate his effect unless there is some other card that is opening up zones. This also means that Ultimaya, this card's pretty much just dead. Unless you have, again, a link monster out, this card will not be able to actually activate its effect. So no more, you know, summoning Ultimaya first and then, you know, setting a card and then summoning Crystal Wing. Like, that is not possible. And actually, this doesn't just apply to these monsters. It also applies to other cards like Starlight Road as well. It says Cyberstein. Basically, anytime that you special summon from the extra deck, it goes immediately to that extra deck monster zone, unless you have a zone that is, you know, obviously being opened up by like a link monster or something like that. And this actually affects rank up cards too. Now, I think that that's pretty big. People have brought up examples, and Konami has actually answered this as well. So I'm gonna make a little scenario. Let's say that you have your Decode Talker, right? And then you summon a regular, you know, S39 Utopia. If your Decode Talker dies, and then you say, all right, I'm going to replace my Decode Talker with a Rafflesia, this means that you cannot actually rank up your Utopia. Like, you cannot summon Utopia the Lightning, you cannot rank it up and summon like Utopia Victory or anything like that, because you do not have the appropriate zone. That is, it's a pretty big thing, man. It's really big with like Utopia the Lightning. People are saying, oh wow, this really fucks up decks like Raid Raptors, or a lot of the decks from the Zexal era that play like, you know, rank up cards and whatnot. It's going to definitely be an adjustment, because it's going to put a premium of making sure that you can keep your link monster protected. Otherwise, if you have that XC monster and you do decide to replace that zone with like a fusion or something else, you will not be able to rank up anymore. So I guess when you have that link monster, you might as well just go ahead and rank it up then, because, you know, I'm not sure how easy link monsters are going to be to protect, but if he dies, then shit, you're gonna have to use your extra deck zone using that rank up. So you guys let me know what you think. Is this a big deal? I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, no, but it really does affect Xing. Like, it does affect, like, I think it's kind of weird that if you Starlight Road, it has to take up your extra deck monster zone. That means that, or your extra monster zone. That means, like, if there's a monster already there and it's not a link monster, I guess if you Starlight Road, you just can't summon Starlight Dragon. I also just realized, and I can't 100% confirm this because Konami hasn't dropped an official ruling, but based on the way that they're ruling this, guys, I'm pretty sure that Cyframe Lord Omega is about to get fucked by these rulings. Like, think about it. Let's say that you banish your Cyframe Lord Omega. I'm pretty sure that it's going to have to actually return to that extra monster zone, meaning that if you say, let's say you want to banish your Omega and you take a card out of your opponent's hand, and then you say, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make Stardust Dragon, right? Well, when your Omega tries to return, it won't be able to return because your extra monster zone is now being locked and you won't be able to put it in a main monster zone according to all of these rulings. Like, if a card is summoned from the extra deck, I guess it has to go back there. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but this seems like this might really fuck over Cyframe Lord Omega because it's just gonna die if you ever try and use that monster zone again. Unless that monster zone, like, you summoned a Link monster in it, then I guess it would be perfectly fine, but it seems like it's really going to hinder a card like Cyframe Lord Omega. But again, I can't actually confirm that until Konami does. Let me know what you guys think.